Hello, everyone. Welcome to Work Comp Over Wine, where we talk about all things work comp, the billion-dollar industry that nobody knows anything about. Pour a glass and let's get into it.
Wow. Sarah, hi.
Hi there.
Welcome to Work Comp Over Wine.
Cheers.
Over wine, cheers. And we're just going to start this with a little bit of a wine icebreaker before I do your full rock star introduction. This is going to be a fun one because we'll talk about how this whole work comp deal started and how it expanded and what it's become and what we're looking forward to. But since this is all about pouring a glass of your favorite, I've got the red, I've got the Pinot Noir from J. Wrigley, went there, joined a bunch of wine clubs. This stuff comes to my house several times a year.
It's lucky.
I'm very lucky.
It's really lucky.
What about you? What are you having?
I got the Prophecy Sauvignon Blanc. It's crispy and a little tart.
Is it kind of like a porch slammer, would you say?
What is a porch slammer?
Something easy drinking on an afternoon, goes with everything, goes with anything you're wearing.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
I'm going to say yes, it's a slammer.
Welcome. And I'm glad you were up for joining me today. This is the official second episode of Work Comp Over Wine. And I thought that I would invite Sarah. Sarah Gamet is, well, she's a rock star. She is my business partner. And she's also the vice president of business development for my Net RN. So we thought it might be fun to get together and talk a little bit about the day-to-day, the ins and outs, and from the ground up, how we got to where we are today. So we've already got the vibe of wine going. You know what? Let's start with you telling me a little bit about yourself. It could be professional, could be personal, could be both. Just let's get the chat going.
Professional, personal, both. Okay. Let's start with personal because that's easier. I'm a mom. I have two young girls, 7 and 2. I have a dog. I have 2 cats. I have a fabulous husband. I get to work from home. I do a lot of activities with the girls as well, so I have that.
Nice.
Taking up some of my time. I'm aspiring to be a dance mom, although that's a really big thing to take on. And I'm part of the Booster Club, really. So
Wow. And the Booster Club is where?
exciting. It's at my daughter's school.
Oh, okay. So you're booster clubbing for the
boosting.
school.
I'm boosting the school. Yes. So in my free time, I then do my work at my Net RN.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Because that's what we're here to talk about, really, is work comp.
Right.
The other part of your life is so full and blessed, and I like what you said about you can do this work from home so that you can continue to have the rest of your blessed life.
And I think that that's one of the main things that we have, especially at my Net RN, and how we've developed it is so people can have lives outside of work comp.
Yeah, I'm going to tap into that word, developed it. That phrase, developed it. Developed this business, and our business is my Net RN, which, as you may know from our first podcast, we provide national work comp case management to injured workers. So I'm a nurse, and I'll tell you my phrase, I can start an IV on anyone, but when it comes to structure and putting things to paper, processes, I'd like to start there with our conversation because you came into the business 8-9 years ago.
Yes. Wow. Yes.
And you took everything that was in my head as a case manager, as a businesswoman, and you were able to put it on paper. Oh, Harry Potter. There's a scene in Harry Potter, I thought about this this morning, where they take a wand. Do you know this reference? They take a wand and they're pulling...
Oh, the pensieve. Yes, where he puts it into his memory into the water and then he can see it.
That's what you did.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
That's what you did.
I'm a work comp wizard. No. Just call me that.
So tell me how you started to do that. How you started to become the work comp wizard that you are.
Well, I didn't have any work comp experience before I got into this with you. I was a waitress. I was customer service, bartender, manager of restaurants. And this kind of fell into my lap because, like I said, it was the opportunity to work from home. I do have a business degree, so it was something a little bit in my wheelhouse, business development-wise, operations-wise. But I really started as your assistant, helping you manage your files more linearly.
I love it. Yes.
And
because you're saying that maybe I work like this.
Yeah, like, ooh, something shiny. Ooh, piece of candy.
You're saying I'm not a hedgehog?
Do hedgehogs go straight, or do they
They do. They do go straight for it.
So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say more of a...
fox.
Okay. Or a toddler, you know? Something shiny, I want it. Yes.
Okay.
In the best way.
Okay. Well, thank you for putting me more on the straight and narrow and building the business from that very structured foundation.
Of course, yes. It was exciting. It was different, and it was really just me and you. For a while, we called it moonlighting. You had
That's true.
extra files that you were taking on top of your other nurse case management jobs, and I was helping you manage those extra files. We had a couple team members, but not many. One just retired recently, like from her whole career with us, so that was very cool.
That's exciting.
But yeah, it was just us trying to make our way.
And it is nice to look back in the rearview mirror because you have to see kind of where you came from. Certainly, you don't forget your roots, but was there one thing that maybe top three things, whatever, that you noticed we did right from the very beginning and that we continue to do today?
I think, yes. In a nutshell, yes.
Okay.
I think it's really putting our injured worker first. I think from the very beginning, it was pretty incredible how you were able to take a file, take all these players, right? You've got the adjuster, the employee, you've got all these things happening, and you were always able to focus in on that injured worker and figure out where to go from there.
And thank you for that. But then you see that we continue to do that even today.
We really do.
And we impress upon our case managers and our staff to do that very same thing.
I would agree. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the injured worker is always at the center, and sometimes they feel very alone. I mean, their whole world has been turned upside down. Was there one case in particular that you felt like that we had a lot of impact, or just has stuck with you since you've been with us?
A couple of them have, whether it be for making an impact or just odd. I mean, just
you
bizarre.
You were going to say weird.
I was going to say weird. I was going to say bizarre. Because some of them are just, still to this day, I'm like, how did they get to where they ended up from the start?
Sure, yes.
I know one of them, I had made an entire timeline on like 7 years worth of care. And the adjuster wanted a timeline, and you said, hey, Sarah, would you help me put this timeline together? And I'm like, yeah, let me dig into some medical records. And it ended up being that they had paid for an entire mouth of new teeth, and his injury was a knee. Like, it was such an odd file, and it was interesting to see how we got there. And we did. We put the pieces together, but weird comp world.
That would stick with you. Yes. Yes. We might have, maybe in this podcast, we could have a section called the weird world of work comp. So great, like alliteration. Yes. But, and then we could clink glasses every time and go, here, and we're in the next section, the weird world of work comp.
I like that.
There's some great things about work comp too, though. I think that you've seen we can have a real impact on people's lives in a positive way. I know I can think about the young man who unfortunately was on a forklift at a large, shall we say, construction store. We can't really name it, but 30 years old, lost his leg above the knee. And you know what? He's actually, I'll fast forward, he's actually playing semi-pro basketball. Well, of course, in the para sports world.
Right. Very cool.
But there are some real positive outcomes from that too.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to glance at my notes, make sure that we're still on the right track because I don't want to miss out. So when we first started to expand from Colorado into Florida and then, of course, across the United States, what do you think was maybe a risk that we took that we weren't quite sure was going to pay off, but it's go big or go home?
I think that started happening more recently once we decided to grow from Colorado. I think Colorado was kind of the safe space, and then when we decided to grow and move into Florida, grow and move into Texas, grow and move into other states that have bigger work comp needs, I think that started to be risky just because we started to swim with the bigger fish.
Oh, yes.
Right? Even though our base of business stayed the same for a long time, and that is that overflow little shiny gem area that we're the only ones doing, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But I do think that once we started to swim with the big fish and then eventually compete with the big fish and make those decisions, that's when it started to be, oh, we can be something. We can be like them, but better.
Again, because I'm not a hedgehog and I'm more of like a toddler, what just flashed into my head when you're talking about that, making those very orderly decisions, I feel, well, I know I could not have done that on my own without you, without the team that we've expanded into. And how do we continue to swim with the big fish and separate ourselves from the herd? We've talked about we focus on the injured worker. I would say other companies say they do the same.
Agreed.
But I think our culture, and you might be able to speak more to this because you have worn that HR hat so many times. Would you say that how we've grown is very specific to our culture?
Yes.
And maybe feel comfortable talking a little bit more about that.
Yes, I think, and we are family. We have that family undertone.
What?
Oh, wait, are we not saying that?
The cat's out of the bag. Sarah Gamet, all the things that you were that we introduced in the very beginning, rock star. Also, my oldest child, my only daughter.
That's me.
And sometimes people will say, oh, you look so much alike. Are you guys related? And then we say, yep, cat's out of the bag.
Well, we hid it for a long time.
Right.
I
don't know why. I don't know why we did that.
I think we thought it was maybe faux pas or something. I don't know. Maybe because I was calling, helping out with files. I don't know what it was. But we thought, oh, let's use your now husband's last name.
Right.
As your last name.
Right.
Long before I was married. And then, luckily I stayed with the man so I could use the name still.
You did refer to him as Fabulous at the beginning.
I did. I hope he listens to this. No.
No, you're right. Why did we think that it was a faux pas? I mean, business, family is tight, and I think that that's part of our culture. Yes. You were speaking to that. I didn't want to interrupt it. But it can also be tough.
Yeah.
It can be tough playing the boss babe and also the sister-in-law, would you say?
Yes. But I also think that our culture we're all so passionate about what we're doing and how we want this to grow because we're all family tied. And even the wonderful team members that we've brought on that aren't necessarily blood related or even marriage related, but just people that have known us in our family and then are able to join us and create this space where we want to support our team. We want to, if you support your team and your employees, they're going to end up doing better work for you, right?
Can I just say, maybe it's because we're related, or maybe it's because we've worked together for so long, but your segues of what you say compared to my notes are just perfect.
Toss. Thank you.
Toss. I have to use that. I don't know where I'd use it, but I like it. When you're talking about the team that we've created and the staff that we bring on, how do we set ourselves apart in terms of training those people to do it the MindNetRN way?
I think our big difference is that we don't require experienced CCM career nurse case managers to be on our team.
Okay.
I think we search for people that are passionate, that are driven, that want to learn something new.
That are healers.
That are healers at heart, that they're advocates at heart, but that just don't want to be at the bedside. Yeah. We can teach them something else. I think that's a big difference. big difference.
And they're still using like critical thinking skills and clinical pathways in their mind. And they're not all nurses.
Yeah, true.
They're not all nurses. I mean, there's a certification pathway for sure in terms of case management, but that's why we developed the course, because we wanted that consistency of product and consistency of service to our injured workers across our staff.
Yeah, absolutely. And we, we're the only ones that are doing that as well. I don't mean to toot our own horn.
Toss again.
Toss,
Did I
toot.
use it correctly?
I think you did. That's really
All right.
well.
Let me flip my page, make sure we're doing okay. We talked about our culture. We talked about other organizations, and sure, we're all partners in servicing the injured worker. We talked about what maybe sets us apart. I think I'd like to speak to one thing that sets us apart, because I'm an older person in this industry, is you're an up and coming younger professional in an industry that has, well, look at the WCI conference. It's going to be in its 80th year. Okay, work comp has been around a long time. So as a young up and coming professional, what do you hope to see in the industry in the next few years happening?
It's interesting you mentioned that, because, and I'll share a little story.
Please do.
I'm gonna share a story. So last year I was at National Comp in Nashville with one of our team members, and it was such a fun experience. We met some amazing people, and during the morning breakfast, they would do speeches and little interactive things, and there'd be sessions during that first morning breakfast, and so you'd get to meet a lot of people. And one of them was like they were asking one question a minute to this panel. It was fun. It was very fun. And one of the questions that they asked the panel was about the aging workforce of work comp, and they actually said, who in here is under the age of 30? And my coworker was the only person in a room of conference attendees, so I mean hundreds of people,
That she raised her hand.
Now, I'm not under 30. I'm close.
I was going to say, you could have raised your hand.
I made it over the hill.
Not a person would have been surprised.
Well, thank you. It's just my youthful look. So the wine I drink, no. But
good plug for the product.
Thank you. Yes,
well,
they can sponsor us at any time. Yeah, but I think it was surprising that there's nobody that's this age. Because you can't get into it, because the big companies won't hire you unless you're experienced. How do you become experienced unless someone's willing to teach you?
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's that disconnect. So I think I'm passionate about and excited about bringing in that new generation of people.
And training them. And giving them, like you said, the opportunity to do something else.
Yeah.
A career path or a side hustle. I mean, we've had both. We've had people that work with us part-time, full-time, but it's just an opportunity. Oh, I love that. And so you're sitting there with your coworker, you're looking around the room. What would have been a piece of advice that you would have given yourself when you started? You're in the middle of this conference, you're starting to see more doors open up. When you first started in this industry, and you could go back and say, geez, Sarah, maybe this would have been something to do or say or act on. Anything come to mind?
Just to be more confident and talk to people, because a lot of this business is conversation and knowing people, and maybe you necessarily don't want to go out every night and party with people. Maybe that's not your vibe, but maybe you get up and walk with them the next day at the conference, or maybe you exercise with them, or you have an appetizer. Any way you can mingle and just have confidence that what you have to give to the industry is just as important as what already exists there.
I like that. And I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, because I know a recent phrase that you started using that I could have used when I started out in this industry. And that is, not everything is
an emergency. This saying has changed my life.
So let's hear it.
I saw it on like a mom video on Instagram, and she was talking about how every time she's rushing and she's trying to get to work, she's trying to get to the next thing, she stops and she takes a breath and she says, this is not an emergency. Because you're in that survival mode all the time, no matter if it's work or whatever. And so to be able to stop and even, push that anxiety down, push it away.
Yes.
Center.
Take a breath.
Take a breath. You're so much more successful for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm. And in your life.
It's been changing. Yeah, it's been really impactful.
It's helped me too. So I appreciate you sharing it, and I believe I would have shared it with my young life, as my earlier life, I mean.
Yes.
When I was young. Both of those things. So, you're the star, I believe, of our company. You really touch everybody in some way on a daily basis. And with that rising energy and that rising enthusiasm and passion, what do you see as the next step for us?
Many things. I do love our team. I really value the time I get to spend talking to people, whether it be about work or whether, they're just chatting with us at WCI or just about their lives. I think it's really fantastic to know them on a deeper level. So I would like to always have whatever work they want, if it's a lot of work, if it's a little work, I want to give them all of that.
Yes.
For the company, I think we're pivoting into this new education space.
Much needed.
And I'm really excited. And I'm excited for you to develop it more, because I think that the knowledge you have is really interesting and different.
Well, thank you.
It's a different perspective.
Wizard, pull it out, work comp wizard. We'll get it onto paper. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I agree with everything that you said. And I'm so happy that you had the time to sit down and chat with me. What does it say on the wall at the gym? We didn't come this far to only come this far.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.